Today, nearly 900 million dogs walk the earth, and right now, somewhere in the world, a dog is asleep on a human bed. 30,000 years ago, though, that exact animal was a 200-pound apex predator with bone-crushing jaws, pitch-black night vision, and a singular interest in turning your thighs into artisanal pork belly. And what happened between then and now is one of the strangest stories in the history of our species. This is how ancient humans accidentally created dogs. And the strangest part, it wasn't the humans who started it, it was the wolves themselves. Welcome to 40,000 BC. The entire planet is essentially a glorified deep freezer, and your life, to put it delicately, garbage. Your entire inventory consists of about 20 equally traumatized tribe members, and right at the edge of your camp, lurking in the dark, are wolves.
Oh my God.
Every single night. And yet, right here is exactly where the whole thing begins. Now here's the thing. You and your tribe eat like absolute slob goblins. When you bring down a mammoth or a reindeer, nobody's pulling out cloth napkins or waiting for grace. You're sitting face down in the dirt and you're gnawing on greasy marrow bones, spitting cartilage directly into the mud, and half-eaten scraps scattered everywhere. To a starving wolf during an Ice Age winter, your filthy little camp smells like an all-you-can-eat buffet. So naturally, the wolves start creeping in. The psycho, aggressive ones that charge straight into camp immediately get turned into fresh kebabs. The scared ones that hide 10 miles away in the woods end up starving to death. But right in the middle, a few smart-ass wolves figure out the ultimate life hack. They don't need to fight you, and they don't need to run. They just tail your pathetic tribe from a polite distance, vacuum up your trash, and they go to sleep with a full belly without getting stabbed. And this is where it gets really weird. Those chill, low-drama wolves survive the winter. The rage monkeys get murdered, the cowards starve, and nature runs the exact same brutal filter year after year. And without a single brain cell in your tribe realizing it, through the years, the local wolf population starts evolving. They become less aggressive, less paranoid, and suddenly, the wolves were literally domesticating themselves, and science actually watched this exact process in real time. In 1959, a Soviet scientist named Dmitry Belyaev started a crazy experiment in Siberia using wild, aggressive foxes. He wasn't training them and he wasn't teaching them to fetch or sit. Every generation, he simply picked the chillest 10% for breeding, the ones that didn't bite, lunge, or try to rip his face off. That was the only rule. And within a few decades, the foxes started acting straight up like house dogs. They wagged their tails, whined for head pats, and actively sought out human attention. But this is where it gets genuinely absurd. Without anyone breeding them for looks, the foxes started morphing and their bodies started to change. Floppy ears, curly tails, patchy fur, and short, goofy snouts. This was not intentional. It was just a strange biological side effect of selecting for calm behavior. Scientists now know the two are directly linked, which means the very first proto-dogs weren't just getting friendlier around human trash piles, they were actively evolving before our eyes. So, back in the freezing misery of the Ice Age, wolves can hear frequencies you can't. They can smell predators from distances your tiny nose can't even comprehend. Long before your useless eyeballs pick up a cave bear creeping through the brush or a rival tribe sneaking up in the dark, these wolves are already up, already growling, and already pointing you toward the threat. Without spending a single calorie, you just unlocked a living, breathing security system. And it gets better, because the perks go both ways. When you go hunting, the wolves track wounded prey faster than your stubby legs ever could, and they corner animals you'd never catch alone. You eat more, they eat more, and suddenly both of you are surviving way better together than you ever did apart. Once that mutual freeloading loop starts, it accelerates fast. This is why dogs hold the crown as the absolute first domesticated animal in human history. Tens of thousands of years before farming, before agriculture, or before anyone ever thought about building a city, humans and wolves had already signed a deal to be best friends forever, and nature rewarded them generously for it. Over tens of thousands of years of sleeping side by side, this tactical survival partnership mutates into a literal, hardwired biological connection. When you look into a dog's eyes today, both of your brains get flooded with oxytocin, the exact same chemical released between a human mother and her baby. Wild wolves don't do this. If you stare a wild wolf in the eyes, it takes it as a declaration of war. But dogs specifically evolved unique facial muscles around their eyebrows that wild wolves don't even possess. The manipulative, soul-piercing puppy eyes that force you to immediately forgive them for eating your couch. Dogs that could pull off that facial stunt got more food, more affection, and better protection from their hairless landlords. Deep in Germany, archaeologists uncovered a 14,000-year-old Ice Age grave containing 2 humans buried with immense care alongside a young puppy. When scientists examined that puppy's bones, they discovered it had contracted a fatal, agonizing disease as a young animal, but had somehow survived for months before dying. Think about what that actually means. In a brutal, starving Ice Age world where every single calorie meant the difference between life and death, your ancient ancestors spent their precious food, time, and energy nursing a sick, completely useless animal simply because they couldn't bear to watch their best friend die. Thousands of years ago, long before we built cities or invented writing, we were already sacrificing everything we had for our dogs.